मृत्युञ्जयं मृत्युभियाश्रितानाम्
मृत्युञ्जयं मृत्युभियाश्रितानाम्
अहं मतिर्मृत्युमुपैति पूर्वम्
अहं मतिर्मृत्युमुपैति पूर्वम्
अतः स्वभावात् अमृतेषु तेषु
अतः स्वभावात् अमृतेषु तेषु
कथं पुनर्मृत्युदियोऽवकाशः कथं
Together?
मृत्युञ्जयं मृत्युभियाश्रितानाम् अहं मतिर्मृत्युमुपैति पूर्वम् अतः स्वभावादमृतेषु तेषु कथं पुनर्मृत्युधियोऽवकाशः.
So in the first sloka, Bhagavan provided the vastu nirdestvam, basically the defining the vastu. Vastu means that which is vasati, that which exists. And that which exists eternally, anaditam, abhadyitam, vastuhu, that which remains all the time without any negation at any time. Trikalam abhayitam asya, that which cannot be negated at any time, past, present or future, that alone is real and that alone is vastu. And that is the explanation or the fact about the Sat, Chit, Ananda and Ameyam also he mentioned. The four aspects of the Brahman. Now he comes down to our level to describe another invocation, an invocation of Lord Shiva. Bhagavan Ramana is Lord Shiva Bhakta. So here the Lord Shiva is called Mrityunjayaha. Mrityunjaya means the one who has conquered the death. That's a Markandeya story where the Markandeya was born at 16 and supposed to die at 16. He goes to Lord Shiva out of fear of death, and Lord Shiva saves him from death. That's the story behind it. And here, therefore, he is called Mrityunjayaha, that is Lord Shiva. And those who are afraid of death, because the death is a change, right? And change can only occur for finite. And finite is only because of the difference, Advaita. So remember the first, all our analysis, there is the Advaita or the differentiation. A differentiation leads to finitization of myself as I am this. And finite alone can undergo the death, the destruction, because finite by definition continues to change. And therefore, one who is of the notion that I am finite, or the one who are afraid of the death, so mrityubhihi, the one who are afraid of death, their ashridanam, they take shelter to Mrityunjayaha. They take the shelter of the one who has conquered the death, because he knows how to conquer. So there is no point in taking shelter to somebody else who himself is afraid of death. So you want to take shelter at the altar of the Lord who is above death, who can kick the death out also. That is the purpose of going to Lord Shiva. So mrityubhihi ashridanam mrityunjayam, that's the one who has able to conquer that Lord Mrityunjaya. I am going there to take shelter unto him. So what Lord is supposed to do? Protect me, because I am afraid of the death, because I think I am a finite individual guy. I am born, remember, the birth date and the death date is going to be death date sometime. I am going to go and die. Therefore, I need protection from the Lord, because I don't want to die. Why I don't want to die? Because I want to live forever. Because there is an intrinsic desire for me to live forever, because that's my nature actually. Because I am Sat Swarupam. But there is an intrinsic, also I think I am this body, therefore I am afraid of the death. So I go to Lord Shiva to protect me. So what Lord Shiva is supposed to do? Protect me, because I am afraid of death. Instead of that, Bhagavan says very funnily, the Lord destroys the devotee. Instead of protecting the devotee who came to him to protection from the fear of death, he destroys the devotee himself, not the death. What is this? This is not what I came for. Lord, oh Lord, protect me, because I am a devotee and the Lord is a one that I am devoted to, deity. And he himself, the devotee itself is destroyed in the process, and to that Lord my prostrations. So what does that mean? It means the Lord is destroying the devotee because the devotee has a notion that I am a devotee and that is a deity. There is a duality between a deity and a devotee. And what God destroys is this division between the two. That I am a devotee is a notion in the mind of a devotee that has to be destroyed completely. I am not even a devotee. Chidaranda Rupam Sivoham Sivoham. We chanted, remember? That's why we are chanting that slokas. Why? I am of the nature of Lord Shiva himself. How can he destroy? Therefore, if at all Lord out of compassion, he has to destroy my notion that I am a devotee separate from the deity. So here the invocation of the Lord is Mrityunjayam Mrityuviyashridanam Ahammatihi. Ahammati means I am the notion that I am a devotee has to be destroyed out, then there is no difference between me and the Lord. Only because of the difference, because I think I am a devotee and there is a deity out there and Lord is separate from me, therefore I am prostrating to him. But what he does is that very wrong notion that I am separate from him itself is destroyed. Aham matihi, the notion that I am separate as an individual itself is destroyed. But how? It's not a physical destruction. It is an understanding that I and you are one and the same. So if a Lord has to be compassionate enough, he has to teach me Soham. Means you are, I am. There is no difference me and you. There is no question of surrenderance. Once you surrender what? You surrender your wrong notions that I am separate from you. That has to be surrendered. In the surrenderance, I and you become one. So that destruction of the duality that I am a devotee and the deity, that duality has to be taken out. That is due to delusion. All these. And that is Aham matihi mrityuhu. That itself is destroyed. The wrong notion that I am an individual. And notions are destroyed by understanding. How is he going to do it? By either himself teaching as a Dakshinamurti or send his disciples to go and teach them. Right? Go to Chinmaya Mission, there is Swami there, and all the teachings go on. Why? That's why we have Dakshinamurti is there, watching to make sure that his teaching is going on. And that is exactly what Lord has to do. And that is what the destruction of aham madhi mrityu upaiti purvam. Purvam itself, the first thing he does is to destroy the wrong notions. Notions can only be destroyed by the knowledge. So even if the Lord comes guda here, he has to teach me what is exactly, because what he comes will go. So to live permanently in me, he has to teach me, I am not separate from you, don't look anywhere else. I am you, I and you is only a differentiation or distinction out of ignorance. So what I need, knowledge of divisionlessness. You know, the whole thing. Ataha, then, Svabhavat amruteshu teshu. Once I recognize I am neither a devotee nor a deity, I am that Satchidananda Swarupam, that which exists, and I am conscious of that. There is no death, no transformation, none of this, because Ataha Swabham, that is my nature itself. What is my nature? Eternity, amruteshu. There is no fear anymore, death, because I am the very nature of eternity. I never undergo change. That means I am infinite. So all these notions of finiteness only because of the confusion that I am different from the rest of the world, and Ishvara, Jiva, Jagat, Ishvara, the differences is there, that I am identifying myself with the localized body, mind. I take myself as I am a finite. That notion of finiteness is removed by reading the first sloka. Remember, the first sloka established everything there. I am that Satchidananda Swarupam itself. Atasvabhavat amruteshu teshu. Once I realize or recognize I am is the pure existent consciousness and ekam, that an indivisible, non-differentiable, eternal entity. Katham punarmrityu yogakasha. How can there be again notions in my mind that I am finite, I am going to die? All that will not be there. So the fear of death, fear comes from the second. You are not afraid of yourself. That's why there is no fear in the deep sleep state. I am not afraid of anything at all in the deep sleep, because I alone am there. But all that comes when the duality comes, I am afraid, I am afraid, I am afraid. I am afraid of the past, I am afraid of the future. All the time. I don't know what's going to happen to me. I don't know what's going to happen to my son, relative, this, that, all good, all those. That rope keeps on coming, that all that is there. Why? Associating something about the future. He's going to tell about future, past and all that in the slokas. And about the past. So I asked some of my students, I ask, always if you try to walk around and say, try to freeze your mind to see where your mind is. Either your mind is indulged in the past, regrets about the past. I should have done it, I could have done it, I would have done it. All those could have, would have, should have, all that about past itself. Or I don't know what's going to happen to me tomorrow. This, all that imaginations about the future. What? I'm walking and present is forgotten. Either about the past or about the future. I live only in the past and in the future only, but not in the present where the life is. All my life is spent in that. Says, when I realize I am Amrutam, Amrutam means there is no death at all. I am the eternal itself. Where is the question of all other things come? Because I dropped all our notions in the mind. So all that realization is nothing but realization by dropping what you are not. That's all. It's very simple. All I have to do is drop all the notions as I am this. This is object I am subject. How can I be object equal to subject equal to object? I cannot be an object. I cannot be objectifying myself. Anything objectified, I cannot be that. Therefore, I am not this, not this, not this. Idam, idam, na idam. Not this, not this. Reject whatever idam that is objectified or objectifiable. I cannot be that. I am the very subject because of which objects I am conscious of. Existence of those objects I am conscious of. So I am beyond any of the finites that are going on, including I am this. Oh, everybody interaction is only I am this. Nobody say I am, period. Like a teenager, you say, because, you stop there. So I am. So who are you, sir? I am. But don't do that when you go to train reservation, you have to fill up the names there. Don't say, I am Brahman, I don't have birth, I don't have death. For transactional purposes, you have to transact. But understanding, I am beyond that. And therefore, says, Shunvanta Vishwe Amrutasya Putraha Ayodhamani Divyani Santi Vedahamitam Amrutam Prastat Aditya Varnam Tamasa Parastat. Says, Shunvanta Vishwe Amrutasya Putraha, a sage who has realized, declares, hey, listen, you are sons of immortality. You are not sinners like other religions talk about. No, you are sons of immortality itself. Birthright is my nature itself. The eternity is my birthright itself. So where can there be a fear of death once I recognize what's my true nature is, who I am? So Bhagavan asks you, look back, the notion that I am this only notions in the body because I am identifying myself with what I am not as I am, and drop that wrong notions by gaining the proper understanding of who you are. Oh, now I know what? I am Brahman. I am also again trying to conceptualize what Brahman is as something other than me. I am not even a Brahman, I cannot say, because even to say something, I had to come down. So, Shankaracharya says, I am not a Brahmavit. I am not a knower of Brahman. I cannot say I know Brahman. I cannot say I am Brahman, period. Because it's not something that I know as an object, because I am, period. And because anything that I add to it is only a qualification, only if objects have qualities. And I have non-qualified. There is nothing I can say. I am beyond qualities. That's why it's called Nirgunam. In the last session, I forgot to tell, there is remember I mentioned about the Swarupa Lakshanam. Brahman alone has Swarupa Lakshanam. Objects do not have, we think any object, what science does is define the object as precisely as possible, right? Any science has to define this is what this is. A definition has to be such that it excludes all other objects in the universe. That's how the precise definition is. But Vedanta says you cannot really define. Why? Please define a chair or a cow. Let me see if you can define. Oh, I can define. How? You only give me the qualities of the cow to define, but none of the qualities are exclusive enough to differentiate the cow from anything else. It has a heart, it has 4 legs, it has a tail, or you name it, whatever quality you mention is not exclusive enough. Exclusive enough means that is necessary and sufficient qualification to define a cow as a cow and not a horse or a dog. Follow? I told you necessary and sufficient qualification. Only Brahman alone has that Swarupa Lakshanam, because all I can say, water, sir, I can define. How do you define? Water is all properties that you give to distinguish what a chemist does in trying to find properties and to find out what the chemical is. But ultimately water is H2O, you will tell me, right? H2O is water, water is H2O, both converse, this way, that way, it is only water. So that is a Swarupa Lakshanam. Sir, that's only assembly, that's not water. You're only combining 2 hydrogen and 1 oxygen, putting together and calling it's a water. Water itself doesn't have water. What is a water that you can define? It's only assembled from hydrogen and oxygen. That's what you're telling me. Then I'll ask you what is hydrogen and what is oxygen. You will tell me again it's electrons, protons together, putting together. I'll ask you what is electrons, what is protons. You'll go bazaar pretty soon. Because I cannot define the fundamental particles without consciousness coming in, because you come to a quantum level where an observer affects the observed. I don't want to get into quantum mechanics, but that's what. So there is no Swarupa Lakshanam for any object. Why? Because objects are made of Sat Swarupam. Tadeva saumya idamagramasid ekameva advitiyam sadaichada bahusyam prajayeti. I want to become many and became many. That means the material cause itself is the Brahman himself. And I cannot perceive the material. All senses can only gather the attributes, not the substantive. There is no way I can grasp the chair. Thank God, a chair doesn't enter into my mind. Only the attributes through the senses I gather. So where is a chair? That's why it's called Mithya. What is there is really Brahman. Sarvam Kalidam Brahma. All that you see is nothing but all this is the material cause for the whole universe is Brahman. Yatova imani bhutani jayante yena jatani jivanti yat prayam tabisham vishanti tad vijnasasva tad brahmeti. That alone is Brahman, where from which the whole universe came, by which it is sustained, into which goes back. The very material is Brahman, and Brahman is imperceptible. I cannot see. It's not an object to see. Therefore, there is no Swarupa Lakshanam for anything other than the Brahman. Because science defines all that they are only rolling around in the small, because they cannot find out essence. Now they are trying to find out what is consciousness. If I try to analyze consciousness as this, then this becomes an inert. It's not consciousness anymore. I cannot analyze. All I can say, I am. And that is beyond the death itself. Atasvabhavat amruteshu teshu katham punar mrityu dhiyo vakasyaha. For the mind, there is no avakash. There is no more chance to think, I am this, because once I recognize I am the totality itself, where is the question of the death itself? So the one who has surrendered mrityubhihi, out of fear of the death, once who has surrendered the mrityunjaya, he has to teach me there is nothing to be afraid of, because you are eternal. What's Krishna's teaching first time? The very first sloka, Natve vaham jatunasam, Natvam neme janadipaha, Nachaiva nabhavishyamaha sarve vayam atah param. There was never a time I was not there, never a time you are not there, never a time all these kings that you are seeing are not there. They are eternal all the time. Where is the death? Why are you unnecessarily crying? Asocyan anyasochatvam. You are crying where? Unnecessarily. And all we are crying, it's not for Arjuna, it is for us. To realize there is nothing to be afraid of. Ditiyadva bhayam bhavati. The Brihadaranyaka says, you are afraid because of the second. The division causes the problem. Understanding all the divisions are only for the gain. Just as we are dividing this space here, this is where the Chinmaya mission starts. That's not Chinmaya mission. All the dividers in the space which cannot be divided, Even the dividers are in the space only. But yet, for convenience, for transactional purposes, we are differentiating or dividing, knowing very well space is indivisible. In the same way, I am the existent consciousness that pervades even the space also. That I am conscious of the space also. That is even subtler than even the space that is indivisible, that I am. It is not a non-existent thing because I know I am exist. I know I am conscious. You're all conscious, right? Yeah. How do you know? How do you know that you are conscious? Someone has to tell you, hey, you are a conscious person. No one has to tell me that I am conscious. No one has to tell me I am existent. Then how do you know? I don't need to know that I am conscious or existence. That means I am aprameyam. Aprameyam means I am not an object for me to know. I am self-effulgent. I don't need a light to see the light because the light itself is shining all over. Because of that light, tasya bhasa sarvamidam vibhati. Because of the light only, everything else is shining. That light is the light of all lights, and I am that very light that pervades all the lights also. And that recognition is what happens once I surrender to Mrityunjayaha. As a Dakshinamurti, it is Vishram Darpana Dusyamana Nagari Tulyam Yadantargatam Tasyam Atmani Mayaya Bahuvidai Bhutai Yatha Nidraya Yas Sakshat Kuruti Prabodha Samaye Swatmanam Ivadvayam Tasmai Sri Gurumurtaye Namaidam. So he has to come as a guru to teach me the essence of Saddarsanam. That's what the Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi says. With that, we have just completed Mangal Sosa. These first two slokas are called, we have not entered the text yet, but the text is the commentary on that Mangal Sutra. Once we understand the basics, then we can go quickly the other aspects. Now we'll start the regular text now. Okay, go ahead.
Sarvai nidhanam jagatohamascha sarvai vachya prabhuhu kaschidapara shaktihi vachya prabhuhu kaschidapara shaktihi chitretra lokyam cha vilokita cha Tralokyam cha vilokita cha pata prakashophyabhavat sa ekaha pata prakashophyabhavat sarvai nidhanam jagatohamascha vachya prabhu kaschidapara shaktihi Chitre tralokyam cha vilokita cha pata prakashophyabhavat sa ekaha.
So sarvendriyanam jagataha ahamascha. Sarver nidhanam. Sir, nidhanam is the cause for everything. The jagat and aham, the world and I, cha, is, the cause is, we call it Ishvara. So all religion starts with trying to understand where did I come from and where did this world come from. So, what is the cause for this universe and what is the cause for me? So this question comes for a rational intellect. So I want to know what is the cause. So why do you want to know? So why do I want to know that apple is falling down? Because that's a rational intellect wants to know. Apple has been falling down before also. But a question why comes only for the person who is intellectually evolved. Say, I want to know why. Because I am suffering in this world and the world is there. Why? What is this? What is the problem? Why I had to do all these things to gather happiness? Why am I born? What is this world for? So I need to know what is the cause, so that I can attack the cause. So all the nidhanam for sarvam comes jagataha aham cha, jagatascha aham cha. That means for the me and for the world, what is the cause? And the scriptures and all religions say, Vachyaha Prabhu Kaschit Apara Shakti. There is one Lord who is creator of this entire universe, including you. Who says? Most of the religions say, right? So all religions proclaim, this is what all the religions say. What? There is Lord. Who is the Lord? Jagat Karta Ishwaraha. That's the first definition we give, right? Jagat Karta. He is the creator for the entire universe. Why is a creation? Why do you call it a creation? Because this is an ordered universe. And a universe that follow an ordered system. It's not a randomly generated. Randomness, all the statistics only applies for a group of things, not for a single thing. As a universe, as an entity where there is a laws are there applicable, what the science may say, it is just by a Big Bang, but Big Bang has to occur following certain laws. Where is the matter for bang? Therefore, that doesn't explain to me what exactly is happening. And therefore, when I turn to scriptures, this is a creation only because it is a well-behaved, a thermodynamic system where sitting in a small, after all, earth is so small, in a lab, sitting in a corner, I can deduce the laws that are governing the galaxies and galaxies away. That's because it is a well-ordered, a regulated system. Therefore, I can predict the behavior of galaxies out there, billions of light years away from me. All that because the system is well behaved. Therefore, it is a creation, there is an intelligence, order requires a work. Thermodynamically, or disorder is automatically, the entropy goes increasing as usual, but in order to set order, work has to be done. And therefore, there is an intelligence. And that intelligence, what we call the cause, is Ishvara. Jagat Karta Ishwaraha. Therefore, that's what the whole thing is. For what? What kind of universe it is? The one which created the infinite. How big is the infinite? If I create a small thing, say, oh, so beautiful I created. But I only created a limited thing. But the entire universe, we are still discovering the end of the universe. There is no end because the more you discover, the more it is revealing. Because it is endless, it is Purnam, it is infinite itself. Idam Purnam, it means Idam means the whole entire universe is infinite itself. And the one who created this infinite universe, because all the laws are in the universe only, scientist doesn't invent a law, he only discovers the laws that are there in the universe only. And therefore, the one who is able to create the entire universe, I should have the knowledge of the entire universe itself. What kind of power he should have in order to create this? Because any creation involves a power, a movement. Anything that moves, that's how we define force, right? If something is moving here, which is stationary, if it moved, says that there is a force there. What do you mean force? I don't see any force. The fact that it is moved from one place to other place, there has to be a force that caused the movement from this place to that place. And that's how force is defined also. Newton's laws of motion, that's what I define. So force I cannot see, but I can see the effects. Therefore, from the effects I deduce there is a force that is causing these effects. Therefore, there is a creation, a creator, an intelligent cause, and there is a movement continuously. This is Jagat, Jayate, Gacchate, that keeps on continuously changing, and any change there has for a force. That's how the force is defined. That which causes a change. And therefore, that force has to be a force that created the whole infinite universe, has to be apara shakti, unimaginable force that I cannot even conceive of. I cannot even conceive simple forces that are there. And that force, Kaschidapara Shakti says, that's what is called Maya. Maya is a Shakti, Parameshvara Shakti. Because I am seeing the creation. Therefore, Vatsyaha Prabhu Kaschidapara Shakti. And where is that Lord? If you still ask question, we can't put him out there, because out there where? Where are you going to put him? He cannot be outside the universe. Why? That outside has to exist. That outside also has to be created. That outside has to become inside the creation only. So there is no outside the creation. And we cannot be inside the creation, because inside the creation is created. Anything inside the creation is created. So he cannot be outside the creation, he cannot be inside the creation. He is the whole creation itself. Therefore, he cannot be other than the creation itself. Not only Jagat Karta Ishwaraha, Jagat Karyam also Ishwaraha. Whole thing came from him and whole thing goes back into him. That is the creator. Then where am I? I am the conscious entity who is the subject, and everything else is an object for me, including you. Everyone is an object for me to perceive. There is nothing but the world is nothing but the subject and the object. Right? An object I can dismiss. I cannot dismiss the subject, because I have to be there to dismiss. So everything I can dismiss, not there, not there. When I go to a deep sleep state, all the objects are gone. But in the morning I get up and say, I slept very well. Why? I was there to sleep very well. I won't make that statement in the sleep, because in that case, because I was not sleeping only. Only when I get up, I can recall that experience, say, I slept very well, because I was there. If I am not going to be there in the sleep, nobody is going to go to sleep. Right? Because we know we are going to be there when we are sleeping. And therefore here, it is similar to the seer and the seen duality is only an apparent, because all the scenes are the objects, the whole world is nothing but the assemblage of objects, and objects are nothing but the thoughts that rise in my mind. Remember all the introductions I went through? And the thoughts are in my mind, in my consciousness. I am conscious of all of them. I am a subject and this is an object. Subject exists, object exists. The existence is not limited by the subject. Existence is not limited by the object. It provides the existence, both the subject and the object, that which pervades both the subject and the object. That existence, which is conscious existence, is actually I am. I am not a subject. I am not an object. I am, which is the substantive for both the subject and the object. And it is just like a drawing, beautiful drawing is drawn, where in the drawing itself one is looking at everybody there in the drawing. So there is a seer and the seen all on the chitram there that is seen. And where is the subject? Where is the object? Subject is also part of the whole thing too. What is their substantive for both of them is pataha. It means it is the canvas. So when you go to next time, when you watch TV, You are watching the TV screen and dramas are going. There is a fire going on the movie. The floods are coming on the movie. People are shooting left and right. You are seeing something, but yet you are not seeing that. What's that? The very screen. Without the screen, there is no show. But the screen I am not seeing. I am seeing and paying attention to things of lights and shadows dancing on the TV. Paying attention, crying when the people are crying, and enjoying and laughing and the people are laughing. But behind all that, there is changeless entity, very substantive, that is supporting all the drama, but yet it is not burning, it is not getting wet, it is none of the changes that are occurring that you are seeing. Nothing is happening to the screen, yet I am seeing the screen, not recognizing the screen. Follow the problem? Same thing in the screen of my mind. All things are dancing there. There is a subject and an object. All drama is going on. I am forgetting, getting lost in the drama, getting lost in this is the object, that is object. Oh, I am crying, and all that drama is going on. Forgetting you are the very substantive, very the substance on which all drama is taking. None of them will be affecting you. Nothing will happen to you. You are eternal, ever-existent, self-conscious entity that you are, not the changing subject and objects. Shifting my attention from the drama that I am seeing on the TV to the one that is background, without which I cannot see any drama, is the same way sitting. Meditation is shifting my attention to that on which all the drama is taking place. I am the nature of the existing consciousness which is supporting subject is. Object is the easiness or the existence of everything that I perceive, I experience. All the experiences are because I am a conscious, and these things are I am conscious of. And that, looking at that, is essentially Prakashaha api abhavat sa ekaha. That is one entity that is behind all these dramas that are going on. All the pluralities are dancing there, but I am beyond this dance. I am that which is supporting everything, but yet imperceptible for everything. So, what is that I had to realize? I had to realize I am not this drama. I am that which is supporting the drama. Drama is not the problem. I can enjoy the drama, recognizing I am not the one who is that roles that are suffering. Roles will have suffering, but I don't have suffering. Roles will have a problem. I am a father, I am a mother, I am this, I am that. All those roles can have a problem. Roles will have a problem, whatever you are. But I am none of the roles. I am an actor, doesn't change with the roles. Recognizing that background, that Satchidananda Swarupam that I am, is the very essence of meditation also. Realization is shifting my attention to what I am not, to what I am. And that is similar to the drama that I see here. The Bhagavan gives you a canvas, but here it's not a canvas, it is the very life, the consciousness itself is the screen in which the drama is going on. So, Prakashaha api abhavat saha ekaha. Just as Lokyancha Vilokitacha, the one who is a seer and the seen in the drama, both are, I am the very substantive for both of it. Because it is, this is, everything, world is, the existence is my nature, and that conscious existence is my own. I lend the support, I can dismiss all that, and still I am there as in the deep sleep state. And if I am conscious in the waking state also, all the time, knowing that let this play drama, that means your mind has to shift your attention all the time to that consciousness which is not changing in all the changes. So how do we do it? Reflecting slowly, I am the witnessing consciousness. I can see my body movement, I can see everything movement, but I am that consciousness because of which I am conscious of this body, because it is this only. And constant awareness of who you are is Drudhaiva Nishtha. Why we forget after the class is over, back to the routines, because we get carried away with the drama on the TV, of the screen of the mind. Forgetting I am the screen in which drama is taking place. Screen is inert, but I am conscious entity, all the conscious, I lend everything to them. Existence. Without me nothing will be there, but I am not of that. So, what is self-realization? Recognition of this fact all the time, continuously, that I am not this. I am consciousness. I am the witness. Witness doesn't take part in the show. He has to witness only, like a Sachi. And all things are Satshyams, are this a drama that's going on. I can stand apart and look at it. Body will be still functioning, mind will be still functioning, intellect will still be functioning, but I am not functioning. I am seeing the functioning of the body, functioning of the mind, functioning of the intellect. I am not this, but I can provide the support. Maya adhyakshena prakriti suyate sacharacharam. All this prakriti is going on, all the actions and activities can go on, but I am not changing in all these changes. That shift of my attention to that which remains the same in all these changes is self-realization. And here Krishna, Bhagavan starts with this first. This we bring the Lord, and says Lord is reduced to the I am, because I am the seer and the seen, and all this drama is only external drama at the substantive of that which is neither a seer nor the seen. And that is the essence of this sloka. It starts with that. Therefore, there is no more misunderstanding of I am. Now, if you pay close attention, because all other slokas will start with the analysis of this ahankara. Ahankara we translate as ego, right? But Vedantic ahankara and in the Dharma Shastra ahankara is different. It's amanitvam vadambitvam ahimsa kshantirajyavam Acharya upasanam saucham sairya matram nigraha indriyarteshu. You know where I am talking about. Indriyarteshu vairagyam anahankaram. This is in the 13th chapter, talks about values. That ahankaram is not good. Amanitvam, the pride and all these things are to be discarded. And Krishna says there ahankara is the ego, I am the doer, I am this, all those, the Dharma Shastra ahankara. In the Vedanta, even people, I don't have any of those pride and all that, I am very humble person. According to Vedanta, you still have ahankara. That I am identified as an individual who doesn't have any pride, anything, still according to the Vedanta, that is ahankara, philosophical ahankara. And that ahankara, that's what he's going to analyze, involves two things. If you understand it, this is basic. What does it, two things? If you really analyze ahankara, it is actually not there. Because it's a false guy. False guy cannot stand. If you attack with the false guy anyway, you are only providing a reality to the false guy. So any other attack of Dvaitam is a problem going to be. Only way the false guy will falls down by inquiry, knowing that it is a false guy. not a real guy. Then how do I do it? This is what the problem to understand. Ahankara, I notion, involves two things. One is, I am the existent consciousness, that Brahman, that aspect. And Atma, that's called Atma. And Anatma, all these inert things, I call this as this. Joining together as I am this. Follow? The Atma, the Aham part, Anatma, the this part, together join as a fictitious third entity coming in. I am not Atma, I am not Anatma, I am in between guy who has a one leg here and a one leg there, a pseudo entity born out of a third thing which is neither Atma nor Anatma. And I am this is a notion which is a false guy coming up. And all our life is this guy. From tomorrow onwards, I am going to surrender myself to the Lord. Flat. Oh Lord, Tana Mana Dhana, Sab Kuch is Tera hai. No more. Who says that? Who says that? Ahankara. So he has to get up again. But from now I am greatest bhakta. Who says that? Ahankara. Whatever you say, there is. I can do different versions of whatever I do. From tomorrow onwards, I am attending Saddarsanam classes. I have finished even Saddarshan class also. Who? Ahankara finished. Very, very difficult to get rid of. He survives the death. He goes to one loka to other loka all over. Punarapi maranam, punarapi janaram. Who is that? The Ahankara. So you cannot easily get rid of it unless you inquire. That's called Atma Vichara. How do I inquire? Know what does it contain? It is a soda entity, it's taking the properties of some of this and properties of some of this and making a chow mixture. Remember in India we have mixtures? So sir, say I want to eat salad. I don't know what is salad, please can you bring a salad? He brings a salad there. I don't see any salad here. This is a tomato, this is lettuce, this is this. Where is the salad? There is no really salad anywhere. It's only a mixture of this. There is no salad entity by itself. It is Ahankara is a salad. He will tell you. Bhagavan will tell you that you have to eat that. Why? Because you have to understand it itself doesn't have any properties of its own. It takes the properties of Atma to some extent. It takes properties of Anatma to some extent and say, I am this. Right? All your introductions, all your biodata is nothing but the mixture of Atma and Anatma. What self-realization? Self-realization, Atma doesn't need to realize. Anatma cannot realize. Anatma is inert, there is nothing to realize. Then what is realization? I who is taking this mixture of these two, get rid of that mixture and identify myself, I am the Atma only. That's a self-realization. So this inquiry is what exactly he is going to tell from next sloka on. Yes.
Arabhyate jiva jagat paratma. Arabhyate
jiva jagat paratma.
Tatvabhidhanena matam samastam.
Tatvabhidhanena matam samastam.
Idam trayam yavadaham matisyat. Idam trayam yavadaham matisyat. Sarvottamaham मतिशून्यनिष्ठा सर्वोत्तमाहं
मतिशून्यनिष्ठा आरभ्यते जीवजगत्परात्मा तत्त्वाभिधानेन मतं समस्तम् इदं त्रयं यावदहं
मति स्यात् सर्वोत्तमाहं मतिशून्यनिष्ठा.
So, arabhyate jiva jagat paratma. This inquiry of all religions, here Bhagavan says, all religions trying to inquire what is the jiva and what is this world and what is the Lord. This is all philosophies. So all religions and all philosophies are trying to address this issue only, and everyone has their own philosophical positions of what exactly this. So arabhyate, everybody starts with this. And prescribe, hey, this is the moksha, this is the liberation, this is what you have to reach. This is all have theories in terms of what it is, the highest that one can reach. So, tattva abhidhanena matam samastam. See, samastam matam, all the religions are essentially trying to analyze this, what is jiva, jagat and paratma, the parameshwara. Idam trayam, all these three. Yavat ahammatihi syat. Here Bhagavan nails it down. All these three, what are the three? The Jiva, Jagat and Ishvara. In my introduction I said, Jiva is I, Jagat is you, and Paramatma is he. Right? The three things are there. I, you and he, these differences come into picture because I am there to start with. If I is not there, where is you? So first find out the validity of I before I can think of you and he. Because once I say I am this, then you are that. So this is differentiated from that, therefore you come and therefore he comes also. And therefore, the best inquiry, don't ask, go get into all sorts of philosophical discussions of this and that and all that. First inquire, who is discussing all this? Find out the validity of the one who is analyzing, analyze the analyst first. Whether he is valid to start before the validity of other things to start. Therefore, he is sarvottama. See, of all the things, ahammatihi is inquiring into the nature of the ahankara. And ahankara is mixture of atma and anatma. When you try to inquire and understand, I am the Atma, the existent, the pure, eternal, and this is therefore cannot be separate from me. If it is separate, then I become finite. Because when I say I am Brahman, I am infiniteness, there cannot be anything other than Brahman. Then if there is something other than Brahman, Brahman is no more Brahman. Brahman means infiniteness. So if there is something other than infiniteness, then it cannot be real. But I am seeing it. Yes, you are seeing it. Whatever you are seeing, therefore is not real. Really? Yeah. Whatever I see, Shankaracharya says in a very beautiful one statement, Drishyatva. So, you are seeing it, therefore it's mithya. So whatever I see is mithya. Mithya means not, either it is real, not unreal. So make up your mind. You say something, I can either have real or unreal. What is not real or not real? Called sadasad vilakshanam is mithya. That's how the definition of mithya is. Because it appears to be real, there is a reality behind this what is appearing. Therefore it appears to be real, therefore there is a real part in it. What is that? That is Sat Swarupam, it is. We are saying the world is. So there is isness, the existence part is real. That which exists can never cease to exist because nasato vidyate bhavo na bhavo vidyate sataha. That which exists can never cease to exist. What Krishna declared, right? That's in the 2nd chapter. And therefore, that bottom line, that which is substantive for the world, there is a reality. Therefore, I say the world is. Therefore, the isness coming from that which does not change, there is a truth in it too. But at the same time, I am seeing the attributes which doesn't belong to the Brahman. Brahman doesn't have any attributes. Why Brahman doesn't have any attributes? Because Brahman is infiniteness. Attributes belong to only finite things. Attributes are the qualities that define an object from all other objects in the world. That's what attribute means. There is no other object for me to differentiate Brahman from something else for me to differentiate. Therefore, Brahman doesn't have attributes. Only finite things can have attributes. Therefore, that Brahman attributeless, you are attributing something. Hey, this is a chair, that's a table. I am giving a form and a name for that object which I don't know what the substantive of that is. Because I can only gather, remember, I can only gather the attributes of the object. So someone said, is that so? Is there really? There is no chair? There is no substance there? Let me see. And then he hit me with the chair. Now you will believe that there is a chair out there. So in the Yoga Vasishta, Rama was a student and the Vasishta is a teacher. And when this Saddarsanam class may be going on there and everything is mithya, does he really believe in this? So when he was coming for the class, he sent an elephant to chase him. And the Vasishta ran away from that. So when he came back and says, how come you ran away from the elephant? He says, what's the problem? Because the elephant, you said everything is mithya. Why are you running away? Say, remember my lesson. Whatever you see is mithya. Don't forget the basic lesson. Did you see me running away? Says, yeah. Then it is mithya. Drishyatvad. You have to read Shankaracharya Bhashya. So whatever is seen is because I am a seer. That is a seen. The existence alone is the real. So everything, the name and the form is only a superimposition on top of it. So the world and ahankara also superimposition of anatma, which is mithya. Mithya is that which appears to be there but is not really there. What is there? If you inquire, remember we tried to inquire what is a chair? We have a problem from the chair to cow, everything. All we are seeing is only attributes, the qualities that doesn't belong to the substantive. Just as yatha saumya ekena lohamanina sarvam lohamayam vijñāta vacharambanam vikaro namadheyam. Just as my son, the ring and the bangle and the necklace and the bracelet all are nothing but the gold and gold alone. You are attributes of the ring which are different from the attributes of the bangle, which are different from the attributes of the necklace, do not belong as attributes of the gold. They have nothing to do with gold. All the names and forms and all the varieties are only those objects that doesn't belong. It is the gold that from which all ornaments are. I cannot separate the gold and give you back the ring. The essence of every ornament, there is nothing but the gold. Just the same way, the essence of myself, I am, removing all the attributes that are superimposed, borrowed from anatma, which is mithya. And the essence doesn't have any attributes other than I am existent consciousness, that I am self-aware. I don't need any means of knowledge for me to know that I am. Even in the pitch dark room, when you call me, are you there? Yes, I am. How do you know? I cannot see anything here. How do you know I am there? I don't need to see myself. I don't need to logically deduce, I am able to hear you, therefore I must be here somewhere. No. I am there. Even if you dismiss me, I am not there. Because I am self-conscious, self-existent entity beyond names and forms and attributes. That which is beyond everything, but yet I am the very essence. And it is beyond Atisunyam. It says, Aham Atisunyam, where there is no more notions of I am this. That's what the Ahankara is. And establishing in that is the Nishtha, is the knowledge that one can have. That is Sarvottamam. That is the highest path than all other paths. Really? From tomorrow onwards, I am going to see no other Vedanta, nothing else, no studies, because I am already that. I want to sit and meditate on who I am. Sir, in order for you to do this is where the J. Krishnamurti philosophy also comes into picture, where I want to uncondition myself. I don't know if anybody has studied the J.K. philosophy. He says, I want to uncondition myself. Everything is conditioned because you are cocooned by the notions about what you think you are, because of the way you are brought up, because your culture, your traditions, your acharyas all have really established all sorts of notions in your mind. You are not all of that. You are beyond that. So uncondition yourself. Don't listen to any teachers also. That's what he says. Sir, how do I do that? If I ask you, you are asking me, and if I tell you, but then you are listening to me, then you are following a path again. How can then you are conditioning to what I am saying? You have to uncondition yourself. So how do I do? All sounds good. Vedanta doesn't say that. Vedanta says, if you sit and try to meditate who are not this, this, you will go bazaar. First you have to prepare your mind, purify your mind so that you can go beyond this. That's why it's called Adhyaropa Apavadaha, where it takes you, the Lord is there, Karma Yoga, do the Karma Yoga. Only when I understand, until I can sit on top of the hearts properly, yoga arudaha, where I can sit properly, steadily, then you don't need to do karma yoga. Until then, purify yourself so that I can take my reins in my hand. So chitta suddhi is important to do this analysis. Otherwise, I go bazaar, I am not this, I am not this, I am not this. I am trying to meditate every day for half an hour. I am not going, I am not this, I am not this. Then what am I? I need a pramana to tell me what I am. I can sit down on the chair. Why is apple falling down? Why is apple falling down? I can keep on asking questions. Nothing will happen. Apple will be falling on my bald head only all the time. But I had to say a means to understand what exactly are the forces. Go to the lab and deduce and analyze what exactly the forces that are pulling me down. In the same way, I need a pramana, a means. That's why the scripture says, Shravanam, Mananam, Nididhyasanam are important for recognizing, to establish myself. I am that, in fact, is beyond Shravanam, Mananam and Nididhyasanam. Told a story in that my Upanishad class also. One fellow had a beautiful necklace. He went to his 4 miles, he walked to his friend and showed him, hey, this is a beautiful necklace I got. My wife gave me as a gift and all that. So it was beautiful and all that. So when he came back home, and he find out that he doesn't have the necklace. So I go home, I forgot my necklace. So my wife gave me. Next year she will ask me, where is that necklace, honey? So he ran back 4 miles, running back to his friend. Oh, I forgot my necklace here. What do you mean you forgot? It is there right your neck. Got folded between your shirt, it is there. Oh my God, I found my necklace. Now, is that 4 miles running is necessary to discover that he has the necklace? Vedanta says, all that running is necessary to learn that all that running is not necessary. I need to run to find out that necklace is there. Otherwise, I'll be sitting there worrying about what my son has of necklace, what my wife is going to say about the necklace. So in the same way, all the sadhanas are important to purify the mind, not to recognize the Lord. Once the mind purified, Shravanam itself takes place. Why we don't, this understanding doesn't sink in deeply as soon as the class is over? Everybody says the same problem, right? Why? Because of the vasana pressures takes you back. I had to purify my mind clearly so that this understanding remains with me. How does it remain? Shravanam. How long I had to hear? Until that how long question is not there. Prolonged listening until I have no more doubts that it is a truth. Reflecting on that and contemplating on that, that is the only shortcut for realization. Bhagavan Ramana doesn't go into all the details, but he gives you the essence. But if you're saying that I am Bhagavan Ramana's disciple, that I am going to do exactly what he did, he didn't have the guru and all that, therefore I don't need any guru. He didn't study all the scriptures, but everything is actually scriptural statements only. If you sit like that, God bless you. Because realization can come only for the Ramana's mind there may be exceptions to the rule, but we don't make a rule out of exceptions. So one has to understand where I start with and what I need for my realization. And therefore he says, even though Sarvottama, this is most important in that requires a purified mind through Karma Yoga, the Upasana and Bhakti Yoga and Jnana Yoga, that has to be understood here. Next one. We will don't look at the watches, lunch will be there. Lunch will be announced because they have to, it's been catered outside. So as soon as I get a signal, I'll tell you that it's a lunch time because then you won't be listening to me anymore. So then we will split. So until then we'll have class. Okay, go ahead.
Satyam Risha va chididam jadam va Satyam Risha chididam Dukkam Sukham Vetti Muda Vivadaha Adrishtaloka Niraham Pratitihi Adrishtaloka Niraham Pratitihi Nishta Vikalpa Paramakhileshtha
Nishta Vikalpa
Satyam Rishava Chididam Jadam Va Dukkham Sukham Vetti Mudha Vivadaha Adrishtaloka Niraham Pratitihi Nishta Vikalpa Paramakhileshtha.
So idam means this. So this means the whole entire universe. It says Satyam va, Vrusham va, Chididam va, or Jadam va. So this is this universe All discussions are going on at varieties of levels. Is this Satyam? Is it really real? The world is real? And is it really false? Is it Mithya? Or is it Chit? Or is it of the nature of Prajnanam Brahma? It says consciousness is Brahman and the whole universe is Brahman. And how can this be unconscious? Is it Jadam or is it really consciousness? So, either Chitva or Jadamba. Dukkham Sukham. Is it really gives unhappiness or pleasures or suffering? All are, Bhagavan says Muda Vivada, all our discussions are useless. You are unnecessarily wasting your time and all that because this is an endless argument. Keep on arguing, nothing will come out of it. Then what is that? So don't try to inquire whether the validity, reality of the world, keep on investigating. Every scientist wants to investigate. I'm going to understand the nature. We are going to understand the fundamental aspect of it. You can keep on doing it. Guaranteed, nothing will come out in the end because there will be a lot more that need to be known. The nature of the universe is the more you open for analysis, the more it opens up, which you didn't know before. That's why our ignorance goes up exponentially with the knowledge. The more we learn, the more ignorant we become because there we realize there are a lot more things to learn, which we didn't know even before. So our ignorance grows all the time in terms of analysis of the word. That's why everybody is becoming a super specialist of smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller. It's called delta function. He knows everything about nothing. That is the understanding of the world. Says, you are wasting time. Is it real, unreal? Is it this or that? All that discussions are mudaivaha, is useless discussions because nothing definitive will come out of any of the analysis of the world because we are analyzing which is not real to start with. Mithya vastu. Analyzing a snake, they say, what is that snake? Is it a poisonous snake? Or it's a rope there. There is no snake. But I am trying to sit here analyzing, is it stripes or is it really, does it poisonous type or what is it comes with the egg or is directly born? All sorts of analysis I am doing about that which is not there, that it appears to be there, but bottom line I am missing it. Adhishtanam, that which supports is not, I am not analyzing, I am only analyzing the superficial parts of it and getting carried away. My whole life itself is spent on that. That I am being PhD here, PhD there, varieties of letters are added behind my name. Remember ABCD? BS, MS, PhD, ESD, all good, and now all, it has become just letters only. But what exactly do I understand the truth? Every scientific paper, you look at it, at the end of it, it will tell you there are a lot more things that he doesn't know that he needs to understand. That which he didn't tell before the funding, he told after that. Every research paper you do, that's what exactly. No one will say, now I understand this, any subject. And therefore here, Bhagavan laughs at us. This is all mudaivaha. This is a discussion of useless. That which is adrushtam, that which you cannot see, because anything that you see is mithya, which appears to be there only, but it's not real. That loka, adrushta loka, niraham pratitihi. That which is famous, which is adrushtam, that which is field, which is niraham. There is no more ahankara there. That is beyond ahankara. Trying to see that is the real inquiry. So inquiry of Atma, inquiry of Adhishtanam. So here not inquiring of not the ego, ahankara, but I am trying to inquire, is that a really rope? If I find whether it is a rope or not, when I see the rope, what happens to the snake? What snake? Snake that I saw, snakes automatically goes away. Where does it go? into the rope. If it goes into the rope, that may be real snake. So the snake is only in my mind. I gave value to it. And that is called adhyasa. Here, we have to be very careful here. There are two types of adhyasa. Bhagavan Shankara starts with Brahma Sutra with adhyasa bhashya. Adhyasa bhashya means first before he goes into the Athato Brahma Jignasa, he gives you the adhyasa bhashya, which is the essence of this problem. As Bhagavan Ramana is going to tell that essence of that also. Essence of adhyasa bhashya is going to tell in this. And in that it is, what is this is similar to something other than that I am seeing. In the dark, when I am seeing something, there is some object out there, but I think it is a snake because it is soft, it is 5 feet long, it is on the aisle where snakes normally lie down, and I am stepping on it. I am afraid of the snakes, and this may be a snake, I better be careful, and all that. Where is that? I am taking some attributes of the snake. I am taking attributes of the rope. I am mixing these two together, creating a snake of 5 feet long, because that's 5 feet long. Lying on the aisle there, that is there, rope is also lying there. So some of the attributes I am taking of the snake and some of the attributes of the rope, mixing, making a chow there, and come up with, hey, it is a snake of this type. And afraid and fear and all other psychological problems that goes with this misunderstanding. Now what should I do? Inquire whether it is really snake or not, because other fellow says that's not a snake, that is a rope. If it is a rope, why am I seeing a snake? That's what my question, why are you seeing as a snake? So let's go and inquire, put a torchlight there and see, in fact, it is a rope. When I see the rope as a rope, what happened to the snake? Snake that came in my mind, a notion disappears back into my own mind. I don't even talk about it. Oh, it's a rope, thank you. This is one kind of adhyasa where I am superimposing the attributes of one object on the other. Alright? There are other adhyasas which are called Ishvara Srishti. This is called Jiva Srishti. There is a Ishvara Srishti where the errors are objective errors, where the truth is beyond, just as the sunrise and the sunset. The sunrise and sunset is only because of earth rotating and I am feeling it is the sun that is coming up and going down, and I feel that is real right now. But when I understand, science will tell me, science is a means of knowledge for me that tells me through a teacher who explains to me. Then once I fully understand that sun never rises nor sets, I have the knowledge of the truth behind it. That does not eliminate the adhyasa that I am seeing. Follow? I still see the sunrise and sunset, knowing very well that sun never rises nor sets. Because the truth is created by the Ishvara, not by my mind. It is objective error. Whereas the snake is a subjective error. I see a snake, you may see elephant, who knows? May not be elephant, but something else. In the same way, when I realize that I am Brahman, now follow me, this is very important because a lot of people get confused here. When I realize that I am Brahman, I understand that I am the totality. Now doesn't mean that world disappears because I didn't create this world. Only world that disappears is the world that I created. That means all wrong notions, my relationships, and he is the bad guy and he is the good guy, he is that and he is all that notions and all that worries and that kama, krodha, lobha, moha, mada, vacharyas, all this harishad vargas, all these 6 elements that are coming out not by the world but I created in my mind, asuya, jealousy, all that goes away. That is a jiva srishti. The Ishvara Srishti remains as a Ishvara Srishti. Now I know the Ishvara Srishti is the very nature of the Ishvara himself. Pasyami Yogavaishwaram. Oh Arjuna, look at my glory now. They are all in me. At the same time, they are not in me. Krishna is contradicting. Mayadadamidam sarvam jagad avyakta murtina mastani sarvabhutani pachaham mastaham sarvabhutani. My mind went blank. That's not that is the Ishvara Srishti or Jiva Srishti. Says the whole universe is. I'm nothing. My mind is. I could not remember the sloka. That's what I meant. All these varieties and varieties of things are created. They are in me. At the same time, they are not in me. Just as the gold says, all the ornaments are in me. They are rising in me, sustained by me. They go back into me. But I am not the ring. I am not the bangle. I am not the bracelet. I am not the necklace. I am none of those. I am beyond this. They are not in me. The nama, rupa, the qualities, the attributes do not belong to me. I am beyond all that. Look at my glory. I can exist in the form of a ring, in the form of a bangle, in the form of a necklace, in the form of a bracelet. Yet I am neither a ring, nor a bangle, nor a necklace, nor a bracelet. So understanding of a realization is, I am that Satchidananda Swarupam, where everything exists in me, sustained by me, go back into me, look at my vibhuti, the glory of mine. That will be the knowledge of a realized master. We are doing it in the Taittiriya Upanishad. A Trishanku, the Rishi who has declared, he says, Aham Rushasyareriva. Right? We have expert here. Say, I am the tree that supports the whole thing. What is the tree? The samsara tree itself is supported by me. A declaration by a sage who has realized. Not the tree is not there. Tree is there, but it is my glory. It becomes a vibhuti. Or you can see the vibhuti as the Lord's vibhuti. So realization is to see the Lord everywhere, including in you. There is no more you left then. Or inquiring himself as I am. If I want to discover the gold, should I analyze the ring, or should I analyze the bangle, or should I analyze the necklace? Which one I should analyze? It doesn't matter what you analyze, as long as you are trying to look at the substantive of the ring or a bangle or a necklace, you arrive the same truth as Satchidananda Swarupam. But Bhagavan Ramana says, it is better you analyze you, because you cannot say the world is mithya. It is not easy to say, as because I am playing the role, I am a husband, but my wife is mithya. She will hit with mithya something. So, as a role I am playing as a husband, then a wife cannot become mithya. I am a father, the son cannot become a mithya. Only when I recognize who I am is, I can play the roles of a father and a husband or a daughter or a son. I can play the roles. They are roles only, but I know who I am. That understanding comes when I analyze that I nature. What is my real nature? I. Here Bhagavan says, Adrishtaloka niraham pratitihi, that which is the pratiti, that which is illumining everything, that which is famous, which is nishtha avikalpa parama akileshtha. It is that which is abiding in that knowledge that I am not this, not this, all this is superimpositions. I am pure existent consciousness. That understanding is Vikalpa, avikalpa, without any vikalpa, any modifications. This is nirvikalpa. So what nirvikalpa means? Without any misunderstanding or notions that I am this. It's not absence of thoughts. It is not Advaita, is not an experience. Every day you have Advaita experience. When you go to sleep, you have Advaita experience. It is not the lack of experience. We are looking for, the problem is, you see the fundamental problem here. We are trying to experience that Brahman. And very longing to experience the Brahman becomes a problem. Because I am longing something, that means I have not understood what exactly Brahman means. It's not something to experience, it's something to realize I am. How do I realize? By dropping what I am not as I am. So all misconceptions have to be, because they are not real, they are only the fictitious only, because they are only anatma and there is no validity. Anatma cannot exist separate from atma. If it exists separate from atma, then atma cannot be infinite. Therefore it exists, atma has to be supporting that also. But don't get carried away with that. Superficial things. It's only superimposition on something substantive. Substantive is Brahman. There is no world of object anywhere real there. For transactional purposes it is there. I am a husband as I transact with my wife. That is only transaction. I take the role of a husband when I am dealing with my wife. I take the role of a father when I deal with my daughter. I take the role of a son when I see my father. I take different roles in different situations that I am transacting with. But I am not the father, I am not the husband, I am not the son, I am not an employee. I am beyond, including all that, but beyond something which is very substantive for being a father, for being a husband, for being a son also. So that nishtha, avikalpa, without any vikalpa, any modifications or any thoughts about what I am as this, and that is parama, that is the supreme, and it is what everyone desires, Akhileshta. That which is desired by everybody. Why? Everybody wants this, because that's why when they go to sleep, they are so happy, because there is nothing other than themselves. So we have Advaitic experience. So what we are lacking is Advaitic knowledge of what we are experiencing. So it is not anubhava, because we are longing for anubhava. I want to sit and meditate, I want to experience that. Sir, that will never happen, because experience comes, that which comes has to go. What comes is janmad jasya. No, I'm not coming. I'm getting old, I guess. So that which is born has to die. That was the sloka I was trying to. So that which has a beginning has to have an end. So experience is time bound, but the knowledge is eternal. We'll go into more details about the knowledge and ignorance more, as Bhagavan himself is going to tell us. But at least here he's framing, analyze first what is that ahankara, I am, that you are doing. That is the greatest inquiry, and don't get involved in all other philosophical discussions of that. Okay, let's go to the next one. We're waiting for the signal, so don't worry, you'll be more hungry.
Sarupa buddhir jagatishvare cha, Sarupa buddhir jagatishvare cha, Sarupa dhiratmani yavadasti,
Sarupa dhiratmani yavadasti,
Arupa atma yadika prapashyet, अरूप आत्मा यदि क प्रपश्येत् सादृष्टिरेका नवदिर्हि पूर्णा सादृष्टिरेका स्वरूपबुद्धिर्जगदीश्वरे च स्वरूपधीरात्मनि यावदस्ति अरूप आत्मा यदि क प्रपश्येत् सादृष्टिरेका नवदिर्हि पूर्णा.
So, Atmani Yavad Sarupa Dhi Asti. So, in the Atmani, in one's own mind, Yavat Sarupa Dhi Asti, there is a notion that I am an individual with a form and localized that I am. As long as I feel I am localized with this body, with this mind, with this intellect, so as long as I have a rupam is a form which is a finitization of myself as I am this. So as long as I have that notion, Sarupadhi Atmani Avadasti, Sarupa Buddhi Jagati Ishvaraha cha. So Jagat and Ishvara also have the forms. Follow? As long as I think I am so and so with all that, then the world is real, the God is also real. They also have a form. God should have a form, or what kind of form? Whatever form you imagine, God has that form. So we have varieties of thousands of forms, and all those forms are real. If Lord is everywhere, all over, in every place, He is all pervading. I can use Him in any form that I can invoke Him. Therefore, every form is His form only. That's the beauty of Hinduism. Although He is formless, I can be Him. He is Narayana, He is Bhagavan, the Shankara. You can put Him in Vaikuntha or in Kailasa. With the Vaishnavites, is a better place. Kailasa is a very cold place. Not, this is also Kailasa, by the way. Really, I'm not joking, because being a Vaishnavite, I had to tell like that, right? So, Vaishnava means you get good prasadam. Wherever you go in the Vaishnava temples, you get, otherwise you get only vibhuti. So be for a bhakta, you should go to Pulihora and the Jyosanam, they get very good, the prasadam will be there. So all that is real as long as I feel I am localized. So if I think I have a body, God has the body. And therefore here, Bhagavan says Sarupam Buddhi, that notion is there. It's a real, that Jagatihi Ishvaraha cha, Jagatsa Ishvaraha. This, the Lord has the form and the world has the form. Every object has a form. Everything that you do in the transaction will be a form. As long as you think you have, your form is real, then God's forms, all other forms are also real. Only when I try to inquire what is that behind the form. So for that, in fact, is Arupa Atma Yadi Kaha Prapasyet Sadrishtireka Navadihi Purnaha. So here says that who inquire, he says, do I have really a form, and what is my form? And form is a rupam. He is going to tell a lot more later. Says form is an attribute. Attribute belongs to an object. Remember, we went through all that. All the attributes define an object. I, subject, cannot be defined. All I can define subject I is that which is not an object. That's the only definition I can give. Because anything I define, I am, this I have to define. But this is not I, this is that I am seeing as this. So I am, any definition afterwards that you follow, that you define, that you give all your definitions and qualifications that do not belong to me. It belongs to the objects. Therefore, I do not have any qualifications of my own nature. Subject cannot be defined. Brahman cannot be defined. Brahman being infinite, infinite cannot be defined. Subject, I cannot be defined. Both cannot be defined because I am Brahman. That's why. Only thing defined is therefore that which has a form. Therefore, once I realize that I am is not this, and establish myself that adhishtanam, the supporting of all this is that existent consciousness that I am. Once I recognize that I am is arupam. Jagat doesn't have a rupam because I am the same existent consciousness that enlivens the world also, that supports even the God also, is because of I am that which pervades beyond all the divisions of Jagat, Ishvara and Jiva. The divisionless, which is undifferentiable, that is infinite, and that I am. Once I arupa, rupa means a form, formless is infiniteness, and therefore once I establish arupa atma yadi kaha prapasye, the one whoever, whenever he realizes that I am the totality without any boundaries of finiteness anywhere, that means I am infinite, that doesn't undergo any change. So sadrishtihi ekaha, sadrishtireka, anavadhi means all jiva, jagat, ishvara becomes anavadhi. There is no more finiteness. Everyone becomes infinite. How can everyone becomes infinite? There cannot be three infiniteness. Therefore, I am the jiva, I am the jagat, I am the ishvara, and I am not the jiva, I am not the jagat, I am not the ishvara. I am beyond jiva, jagat, ishvara. I am the divisionlessness of all the divisions in which I am supporting. Follow my introduction, the initial introduction? I am the divisionless, the ignorance of which is causing all these problems. I realize that I am in fact this sadrushti eka, that eka drushti, that one alone is why. Therefore anavadhi, there is nobody, there is no boundaries for it. It is infinite, and therefore indeed it is purnam, it is full. There is nothing that is required. It is therefore it is infinite. And that is my true nature, and we are getting signal that we have to go and eat, and therefore we will stop here. We will do with the Purnamadaha Purnamadaha. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purna Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamiva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.